Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Ryan here, and today I'm going to be doing another Mineplex staff interview. And today I am here with the leader, AlexTheCoder. So if you'd like to introduce yourself, that'd be awesome.
Hey, I'm Alex. I'm the Java dev lead on Mineplex over here. Majorly working on PC and some of our backend infrastructure.
And how long have you been playing on Mineplex?
At this point, it must be like 6, 7, 8 years now.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And how long have you been a developer on Mineplex?
So my story at Mineplex began, I'd say, when I was a sophomore in high school. So that would have been about 5 or 6 years ago now. At that point, I was a Mineplex junior dev back when that program was still around. So I made a few games there. I made Milk the Cow. I did a huge revamp for that game. I made Champions Capture the Flag. I did Minecraft League, all that kind of stuff. Some more of our competitive PvP games. And then once I've been there for about a year or two, I became a full developer and I started working on some more critical systems. So I did updates for parties. I did updates for clans. That was a big one. I was the clans lead developer for about 2 or 3 years. And in that position, I took clans out of alpha and I got it till I think about 6 and 6. Was just me working on it. And then I'd say about 2 years ago, I took over managing the dev team on Java. So basically, I oversee all the code that goes out, all the stuff needs to be tested and needs to be deployed. That's all through me. Every developer's code basically comes to my central system where I review it, and then I build it and deploy it. So basically, and also maps and such all needs to go through me for deployment. So that's pretty much what I do here and how I got there.
Nice, awesome. And who was the owner who promoted you to leader, and how was that whole process like, and how did you feel when you finally got that call up?
Well, I would say I was very excited to take on the position. The two or three owners, I guess, who are most active in my personal journey here would definitely be John Defect, and then Strat20. Was Ryan, and also Caleb Applegi. Those are the three people who I think were most influential in my journey here, and just people I interacted with the most. Out of those three, definitely, John is the developer of the three, so he's very active in that with me. So that's always nice to have really good back and forth. Ryan is operations, so I interact with him a lot day to day. And then Caleb, I meet up with a lot. We go to conventions and such. So those three guys have been the most involved with me, I would say. And I mean, for me, when I became leader, it wasn't exactly like a straight one-step position. So I took over a lot of the responsibility at different times in my tenure here. So I was doing a lot of senior dev work over the past several years. And I was going to conventions and such over the past several years, and then over the last 2 years, I took over most of the roles of dev manager. So I was deploying updates and managing the servers and such. So that's when I would say I was really kind of like a dev lead, even though I wasn't LT yet. And then I became LT. I believe it was this year, earlier on, when I officially became LT. And I was excited to make that step, but at the same time, it wasn't like a new role for me. I was really filling the same role with a different title.
Okay, and you mentioned you've gone to conventions and such. What kind of conventions have you gone to, and how fun were they?
So I went to I went to the Minecon in LA. That was really fun. Great. That was my first convention. It was really great to meet everybody. I met a lot of mods. I met the owners. I met some of my friends, other developers, and admins and mods and such. So that was a really great experience, definitely. And then I also went to a series of the mine fairs. Like I couldn't even begin to. I've been to at least 10, 15 of them. Just traveling around the country was really, really great. I saw a lot of cities and a lot of states that I really wouldn't otherwise have gone to. And of course, it's always great to meet up with our players, meet up with our other staff. I'd always happy with coming out. Very excited about Mineplex. Some of them hadn't really played on a computer before. So we had our game zone there. So it was always really great to see all these younger children getting to play on PC for the first time and really enjoying playing some of the classics at Mineplex, like Turf Wars, things like that. So it was a really great experience there, definitely, to kind of introduce that to them. And also always great for the team building. And then I think the most exciting experience in that sector of the company for me was when we went to the event, the Minecon Earth tournament zone in London. So we put on a tournament zone. I believe that was 2018.
Wow.
They held they held a tournament zone in London, and it was this big thing that Microsoft had put on. It was Hypixel, Mineplex, the Hive, CubeCraft, all the big servers, Lifeboat, they were all there running these tournament zones, which I think was for the Bedrock edition at the time. But I went out there and set up all the servers and stuff for that. So it was really great. That was like my dad's from there, but I'd never been to England before, so it was really cool. Definitely to do that. And again, I think the best part of any of those trips is definitely just the team building and the bonding that we have together. Because we, as people who work remotely, we don't really have the opportunity to kind of meet up and spend time together all that much. So when we do have those rare opportunities, it's always like really familiar. It takes that we just click right into it and we just have fun together. So that's always great.
That's awesome. So in your experience, how would you rate your time on Mineplex? Like have you enjoyed it? Has it been stressful? Things like that. It's a big job. So over the past couple of years, I've had some very special moments. Like when Community's first released, there was a problem with how it was done in memory, and basically we just started kind of killing the servers. So that was a very stressful. That's my most stressful moment here at Mineplex, exactly when that happened. Because that was, I think, my first big solo project was Communities, and I was just very anxious when that started to break. But I think overall the job isn't all that stressful, just because you're surrounded by so many good people, and it's a really loving and happy community overall, I'd say. So that kind of makes the job less stressful. And there are those stressful moments where something goes wrong, but just having the people around you who are able to support you and kind of help you make those situations better, I think just mitigates that stress a little bit. So it's not overall a stressful job, even though it does have its stressful moments. And I believe you started out on Mineplex as a junior developer, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Would you ever foresee that program coming back?
I don't foresee a place for that program, really. The junior dev program was really what Mineplex had at a time where we needed a lot of development staff, and we need to kind of fill those ranks out with people who are maybe less experienced, but because we have basically our strategy at that time was kind of just keep pushing out games at a really fast rate. That was kind of the way Minecraft was working at the time, where basically you wanted to have as many games out as you could. Currently, the game isn't really like that anymore. It's more about developing more of a long-term base towards your games, and kind of building up a community that way. And having too many games really kind of hurt you more than help you these days, just because the market got so oversaturated with games.
Yeah.
So at this point, it focuses mainly on keeping a dedicated team, really high quality team who can kind of handle a variety of tasks very well. And so, not to say people who would be junior devs in the past wouldn't fit in that team. There's definitely a place for those people. But also, a lot of the time they are talented enough to, I would say, to be considered, development staff in their own right. And I feel like the junior dev program may have created sort of a bias or a perception that these people were maybe less skilled or less valued, and I really don't want to see some of that ever come back. So we also I guess for two reasons I wouldn't bring it back is A, we don't need such a large team anymore that merited the creation initially.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like the position inherently devalues the work of those individuals. And if someone was to come on and be a dev here, they're going to be a dev here. They're not going to be a junior dev. They're just going to be a dev. If you're a dev, you're a dev.
Yeah.
Okay, so I definitely understand that. And I guess my final question for you, for this interview is going to be: do you have if you had to give one tip for anyone who might want to become a developer in general or a developer on Mineplex, what would that advice be?
I would say the two aren't necessarily the same advice. I would say if you're looking to become a developer, um, my advice to you is definitely to kind of explore the different types of development and use that to figure out what kind you want to be. If you want to be like a web dev or a back end dev or a front end dev, if you try and fill a role that's not necessarily your best role, you're gonna get demotivated. You're not gonna really have a great time. If you figure out what role is right for you first, you're going to have a much better time
Okay.
because you're going to be able to figure out what kind of jobs or assignments you might want to do, and it'll suit you as a person. It'll suit you in your lifestyle, and that will allow you to be much happier. And maybe you'll, not, maybe you'll if you do the wrong one, maybe you'll think that I'm not good at development, but maybe you picked the wrong sector of it and you try something else.
Uh,
Um, for Mindplex specifically. I would say just build out your portfolio, show how much like make yourself have a lot of experience, and then you figure out how to show that best to us. And try and keep it to something impressive. Like do something that's I don't know, not necessarily big and flashy, but something that demonstrates your skill as a developer, and kind of put that in a well formatted way for us to see that. So if you ran I don't know like a PvP server, if you built a giant queue system that took players from 15 servers and put them into matches, that would be something to stress. Or if you built an anti-cheat, and it's a really good anti-cheat, stress that. Or maybe you built a minigame, and you had all these little features in it, stress the minigame. Stuff like that, kind of show your attention to detail and show your skill. Now, I mean, things like I ran 5 servers, great, but it doesn't give the specificity we're looking for. You have to show what makes you a good candidate for Mineplex, not just that you have experience in Minecraft before.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you very much for taking some time out of your busy day to do this interview.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed doing it. And I think everyone else will enjoy listening to it. So if you guys did enjoy this interview, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good rest of your day.